Welcome back to the Sibling Group Chat. I'm Owen.
And I'm Cassidy.
And today we are back at it with the Odyssey Review, Episode 34, Camp What-A-Nut.
Yes, we are reviewing a two-parter. These are episodes 37 and 38 of Adventures in Odyssey, and they originally aired on July 30th and August 6th of 1988. These are part of Album 2, The Wildest Summer Ever. We're staying pretty consistently in this one, so love to see it. And in this episode, we have a very descriptive description. Donnie McCoy journals about his many adventures at Camp What-A-Nut.
I mean, that about sums it up.
I know, but wait till you hear the themes, because this I find funny. Judging, having fun at camp, and building character.
Those are very connected ideas. You can't be judging while you have fun at camp, you know?
No. I mean, if you think about it, all these
Those
things
are the themes, it's just that is
are
kind
in
of
this
the
episode.
same wording.
Yeah.
I will say, well, I wouldn't say most of the episodes in this album are overly connected to future continuity other than the one with Connie. But the whole album, we find out in
Fits
one episode,
together.
is like the same summer. Like they all go in order. They don't refer to each other much, but they are
Yeah.
like that summer.
Yeah, it's a very thematic album. More so than I feel like some even later. Like maybe later the episode themes go together, but not like I don't know, the vibe. Like these are all summer episodes. It's not often that you have a storyline theme throughout a
Yeah.
whole
Well, because
album.
when you get to the episode, The Last Great Adventure of the Summer, Wit at the beginning is like talking about different things that happen throughout the album. So they all happen. Like it's a very summery album that all somewhat goes together.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
I
know.
think
It's just kind of
it
fun, I guess.
it makes sense why they finally changed the name of this album to The Wildest Summer Ever, because I think that fits the overall theme better than calling it Stormy Weather, which was just the name of an episode anyway.
Yeah.
So, but Grins, Grabbers, and Getaways, I mean, that was fun too.
That sure, yeah. We'll go with that. So yeah, I guess we just hop right into it. Donnie McCoy. We don't really get too much backstory on him. We figure out rather quickly that he's short, but I don't know that we get told that until
No.
people start commenting that he seems short.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's writing, journaling about his time at Camp What-A-Nut, and it starts.
Before we even get into it, just that fact of him keeping a journal. This episode was originally supposed to be the second Jimmy episode, but Dave Griffin was on vacation, and so they replaced
Gloria's
it with.
supposed to be Donna.
I assume so, and I think listening to it this time, knowing that, I can hear it. Like I could see it being Jimmy and Donna, and we never established later that Jimmy is short, but I could see this being a part of his personality.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, yeah. This was
That's
almost
interesting.
our first continuity episode, but Dave's family had to
Outside
go
of
mess it up.
Connie episodes, yeah.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, we don't. I don't know that he says what day it is that he first starts writing, but he starts by recounting the very first night of camp, when Mr. Whitaker is talking to everybody at the camp. Mr. Whitaker runs the camp, I guess.
At this
if
point in
that's how
time,
you'd say.
yes. Later, I feel like that's not quite as clearly a thing, but right
That's
now,
kind of what I was
yes.
thinking. Is like because this time he's like there the whole time. That's definitely not the
Yeah.
case for every year. Although he is involved with like the running of the camp. In the
He's
future.
probably on the board, as he is on the board of everything. The
Yeah.
college, the Universal Press, the camp. No. He's everywhere.
The board of recreations or whatever.
Yeah. Board of Recreation.
Yeah, it's in the Winning Edge episode, the softball. He's on the
Oh, yeah.
Parks and Recreation Board or something like that.
Yeah. Honestly, he's on everything but town council. And he has Tom to do that. So
Yeah. But yeah, so on the first night, Mr. Whitaker is just like introducing people. I think he was probably talking about rules and such as happens on the first day of a camp.
yeah, we are camp kids. We know how this goes.
Yes. You even worked at a camp, you know.
Did.
Yeah.
Good times. I feel Ned's pain.
I just
They're
want to
only
say I'm
sixth
getting slightly
graders.
ahead of myself, but towards the end of this opening scene, Ned says they're only sixth graders. How bad could it be? After he literally had one of like a wild week with sixth graders at VBS.
I know. There's a part of me that's like, oh, poor buddy. But then it's like, you knew.
Yeah, it's
You
like
knew. Well,
you
even,
just
he says he
did
teaches
that.
sixth grade Sunday school. So he should
Yeah,
have
like
known even
what was he
before
thinking?
VBS. It's, it's like, Ned, what were you thinking?
I'm sorry, I didn't want to get ahead of myself, but
Yeah.
but you mentioned that like yeah, Ned like he's a little clueless. I feel like,
Yeah.
but anyway, one of the people that Mr. Whitaker introduces on his first night is Marco DiBiase. How do you
Yeah,
say it?
something like that.
Basically, he's the camp cook, and he's from Italy.
Yeah. We find out more of his background later. But I will say, this is a prime example of the wild acting chops of Will Ryan. Because Will
Yeah,
Ryan is the voice of this Italian cook, Marco. And
pretty good.
it's impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last thing he does, he explains the camp name. Um, it comes basically they abbreviated the full native name of. I don't know if the camp was named that or like the land was named that. I
I think
guess
it's
I
the
think it
name of
was.
the land, so they named the camp after
Uh,
that. And the word
yeah,
being Wayaka Talaniti.
which means land that stinks like swamp, and they didn't want to be the stinky swamp campers.
No. This
But I think
gets
it's funny.
referenced again several times
Is it?
throughout Odyssey. Yeah, in the Ill-Gotten Deed, when Mr. Whitaker tells the story of the history of the founding of Odyssey. It's the two brothers
Oh yeah, yeah,
who
yeah,
race to the land, and the land is called the Wayakatalaniti Valley
yeah.
because it literally turns into a swamp until the one brother fixes it. And
Hmm.
then I didn't remember this, but the Odyssey guide says it's also referenced in Called in Class, which is the episode where Trent has to give a speech in class and he's afraid to do it. And so he keeps like daydreaming and he tells a story about his ancestor who was one of the McAllisters, which relates to Odyssey history, but I don't remember Wayakatalaniti being in there. So
I don't remember that episode at all, to be honest.
it's a newer one, so you may have only listened to it once.
Yeah, probably only once. And to be honest, no offense to Trent, but that kind of era, for the most part, is the era where I feel like they were at a little bit of a lull.
Yeah, I don't know. He's okay. When you
I'm
think of
not
him as
saying Trent's
Jared's younger
anything wrong.
brother,
I just
I
say
think
like
it
that
makes him
area
better.
of episodes. If I remember, if I'm thinking of the right area, it's around where we originally had stopped when we
Yeah,
were on our disc collection. And so from like right the couple albums before we stopped and right after we stopped were kind of boring to me.
yeah.
I remember when
Well,
I started getting into the newer ones, it didn't start like picking up for me until around like the Leonard Meltzner stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, this is getting good."
yeah.
But anyway, we're on rabbit trails again, and we need to get back to Donnie McCoy because we
Yes,
still haven't even established that he's short, other than the fact that we said so.
it's true. He hasn't established that he's
Yeah,
short
he
yet.
has not established that he's short yet. So after the assembly or whatnot, Donnie goes to talk to Mr. Whitaker, who is talking to Ned, and he's asking Ned what he thinks of the camp and if he's ready for a week camp. And Ned says it's really far out, meaning not that it's cool, but that it's actually like very far removed from the nearest town, which I'm assuming is Odyssey.
I would assume so. Yeah, like couldn't they get away from civilization a little closer to the city?
Yeah.
Which
One
again,
thing, one other
I feel
thing, I
bad.
don't remember if Donnie says this before we hear part of the conversation with Ned and Mr. Whitaker, or after. But he says one thing that he was looking forward to of his week at camp is that not very many kids from his school were going to be there, which I thought was a little odd because I feel like it would make sense for there to be a lot of Odyssey kids there.
You would think so, yeah. But we do know there's at least two schools in Odyssey. So maybe he thinks all the academy kids are going to show up.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Or
know.
maybe he goes to the academy and thinks all the public school kids are going to show up.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a little odd that he seemed
Yeah.
to think that there wouldn't be anybody he was going to know there.
Yeah, I would agree. Because this camp feels like,
Wits End Summer Camp?
yeah, it's one of those camps where you know people to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the main reason he was glad that nobody he knew was going to be there is because people people at school make fun of him for being short. The main one of those being the person who he first sees that goes to his school is Chaz Wentworth, aka the
Bad
second
guy
episode
number
in a row
3.
where I wish they would have just kept Muggsy for a couple episodes.
Yes. Muggsy Leonard Chaz Wentworth returns again.
Yes.
It's basically
Same
the same.
general idea of a character, same voice, different name for the third straight episode.
Yep. Only now Chaz is wealthy, or his family is
Yes.
anyway. So
Which I get the impression Muggsy's family wasn't wealthy, but
probably not. But maybe that's just because he gives Rodney Rathbone.
maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, Donnie goes to talk to Mr. Whitaker and Ned.
Gets
Mr.
tripped by
Whitaker can't
Chaz.
believe... Huh?
He does get tripped by Chaz.
Yeah, he does get tripped by Chaz. That's how he finds out Chaz is there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mr. Whitaker can't believe that Donnie is old enough to be at camp, partially because Donnie is short.
Well,
then he also
doesn't actually say that until Gloria shows up.
Oh, that's right. He asked him where Gloria is, to which Donnie stands on a bench to find Gloria.
Yeah, and I don't think Mr. Whitaker actually needed to talk to Gloria. I think he was just making a
No.
conversation with
I
Donnie.
think you're right.
And then Donnie calls Gloria over, and Mr. Whitaker doesn't correct him, which makes it even more confusing. Like, if Mr. Whitaker be like, oh, I didn't need to talk to her, but he's just like, oh, thanks. I don't think he needed to talk to her.
Yeah, well, and also he wouldn't have. I feel like Mr. Whitaker wouldn't have been okay with Donnie getting onto a bench.
Yeah, I think Mr. Whitaker would have been like, oh, I just wanted to know, I wanted to know if she was here. I don't need to talk to her. It just, the whole interaction is slightly odd, other than to establish Gloria as a character and
Donnie's older
flirty,
sister.
So, yeah.
But yeah, so he introduces Ned to Gloria. Oh, and also Donnie, when he asked Donnie if he knew Ned, Donnie says, oh yeah, he's the VBS teacher. And it goes, my reputation precedes me.
Yeah. Here's where, this doesn't come up till slightly later in this conversation, here's where maybe Ned thought these were going to be better kids, is because Donnie is an upcoming 6th grader. Where I feel like at VBS he had kids who had just finished 6th grade, I think.
Possible.
So maybe he thought that this was a different group of kids and they wouldn't be as bad. Because the way, because Donnie wouldn't have said, oh, the VBS teacher, if he had been his VBS teacher.
That's true. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But yeah, they were clearly at the VBS because Gloria says that she thought Ned's program was very creative. Emphasis on the very.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, they say she's what, in 7th grade? 7th or 8th
Yeah.
grade? If you don't know what 7th grade girls are like, consider yourself well off. No, they're just the little boy crazy.
What? I never would have guessed.
Is that a siren?
Sounds like it.
That's fun.
I would look out the window to tell you what's happening, but my window is not currently opening, so... Or, it's not currently open. It can be opened. It's not currently open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're coming for you.
I guess. That's the loudest sirens I've heard since I've been in college down here.
Yeah. You should have. I was at college in South Carolina. I had sirens all the time.
You were in a considerably larger city.
Oh, considerably. But yeah, all the time. Anyway, rabbit trail number 2.
Yeah, we're on rabbit trails today. The title of today's episode is going to be Rabbit Trails plus Camp What-A-Nut.
Bear trails or deer trails, or Mr. Whitaker gets lost trails might be better, but
Yeah. So yeah, Ned's got the upcoming 6th graders cabin, and it's apparently time for everyone to go to their cabins. And so Ned and Donnie head there.
here's something that I find quite interesting, and maybe this is normal in some places, but the whole camp runs on one generator that turns off all the lights for the camp at once.
Yeah.
On the one hand, that's an effective way to enforce lights out.
Like,
There's a part of
We're
me
out.
that would love that as a cabin. They're like, oh, we're done. Close your eyes. But also, I can't see that working real well.
yeah. I suppose. But it does appear, at least in the sixth grade boys' cabin, that they're well equipped with flashlights, as we find out
It's
in a second.
true. Ned might not be, but the boys are.
Because as Donnie and Ned get to the cabin, there's a massive pillow fight going on, which Ned has to break up. Um, and then Donnie finds his bunk, which Chaz conveniently saved for him below him because he knew he would need a lower one.
Honestly, it's true though. The low bunks always go first.
Really?
So, yeah.
I feel like
In
a
girls'
lot of
cabins,
boys take
anyway.
the higher bunks first.
Girls' cabins, the low ones go first. I always feel bad when your last camper is a new kid and they have to take a top bunk. Like,
I mean,
just
to be
always
fair,
feel-
I prefer a lower bunk, but I don't know that
I do too.
most boys do. I don't know.
Now, let us know, when you were a camper, which bunk did you want?
The middle bunk.
I have been to, not for camp, but I've been to a camp with triple bunks.
I feel like I've seen triple bunks somewhere before, but I don't know where.
Actually, in college, we had a triple bunk in our room. The bottom bunk was literally on the floor, but, you know.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. We kept our food on it.
Nice. Bottom bunk, aka shelf.
Yes.
But anyway, after Ned breaks up the pillow fight, everybody gets to their bunks. The lights go out, and everybody turns on their flashlights.
Before the lights go out, Ned leaves again to brush his teeth. Which,
Oh,
if
you're
I
right.
were Ned, I think I would have let the pillow fight continue while I brushed my teeth.
Yeah,
Just
I
to
would
let
have
them
just been
get out
like,
a little more
"Yeah,
energy.
no, I'm gonna go brush my teeth."
Yeah.
They'll probably have calmed down by the time I get back.
Yeah. Or then you would have only had to calm him down once.
Exactly. But yeah, so he comes back right before the lights go off, and then everybody turns on their flashlights. To which he
Blinding
says
him.
he doesn't need the flashlights to be able to find his bunk. Turns out he maybe could have used the flashlights because he runs into at least 2 suitcases on his way to his bunk.
Yeah. And then he's like, in the morning, put all your suitcases under your bed.
Yes. I don't know why they wouldn't have been. That's kind of where you put them, but
These are 6th grade boys.
that's
They don't
true.
put things away.
Yeah, you could have just said they're boys. Boys don't put things away.
Also true. But 6th grade is even more so.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, he gets to his bunk, which is apparently a little lower than he had thought it was, because it seems like he kind of falls onto his bunk more than he gets onto his bunk. But apparently some of the boys decided to have a little prank, and they put some pine cones in Ned's sleeping bag. So Ned has to get the pine cones out of his sleeping bag, goes to take them outside, runs into a suitcase. And every time he runs into the suitcase, by the way, at least one boy says, "Watch out for the suitcase."
Yeah. And most of the shenanigans are being led by Chaz. Like,
Yes.
we don't know for sure he did like every single thing, but it's
It's
implied.
you couldn't prove it, but it's fairly obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he gets it outside, but as he opens the door, something flies in. All the boys think it's a bat. They also all turn their flashlights
started
back
by
on.
Chaz, because all the other boys are like, oh, and Chaz goes, ew, it's a bat.
Yeah. Chaz is a little bit of a know-it-all in addition to being a prankster and kind of a bully.
Because he's well off, and everyone should appreciate that.
Well, yes, of course. It's actually a little bird. Ned somehow catches it rather quickly.
It's true.
I think it's just like, turn the flashlights off. It's like, did you get the bat? It's not a bat, it's a little bird. Like, instantly he like caught it. Like, mad
Just, like-
reflexes from Ned. Just
Yeah. Just palms the bird.
gets the bird outside. Everybody theoretically goes to sleep, and that's about all we get from the first.
He does trip on the suitcases back to his bed.
Yes. Can't
So-
forget that. Watch out for the suitcases, everybody.
Yeah. That'll be the title of the episode. Watch out for the suitcase. I think I don't know when we skipped this because Donnie has had 2 conversations with Chaz now at this point, and in one of those, Chaz says he's been to lots of camps and he's not sure why he's at this one, except that his dad owns part of the camp.
Yeah, it's right after Ned stops the pillow fight while he's brushing his teeth. Chaz was talking about all the different camps that he's been to: sports camp, Boy Scout camp. There's another camp. They're only the best ones, though. His parents send him to all the best camps.
Yeah.
This is the only Bible camp, though.
Yeah. So I wonder if his dad is a part owner in the camp. Are his parents nice Christian people and this kid is just a problem? Or
The way it be
does he
sometimes.
just own it because they need a rich investor?
There could be that too. Although
But if
I mean,
Mr.
Mr.
Whitaker,
Whitaker could be the rich investor if they needed
yeah,
a rich investor.
maybe Chaz's dad is on the Universal Press Foundation board with Mr. Whitaker, and so when he says my dad owns part of the camp, it's actually Universal Press owns part of the camp.
That could be.
I'm liking this theory.
It would make sense.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah. So then, after all of these shenanigans, it seems that Donnie doesn't write in his journal again until about middle of the week.
There's, yeah, it's been a couple days, and I have to say throughout this, from a writing standpoint, this is not how a sixth grade boy would write in his journal. Because he's writing, at one point, it seems like he's writing things as they happen, and then he starts writing about things that he wasn't there for. Like, he writes everything in chronological order, even though he couldn't have known it all in chronological order.
Well, but if he's writing a couple days later, he could have written it in chronological order
So he
based on what he heard.
wrote everything after.
Well, it literally says it's been a few days since I wrote in you.
I suppose that's true.
Because he could, like, how he writes is like, this happened. And while this was happening, this happened.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes the believability of him writing all this down isn't.
Who said anything about believability? This is Adventures in Odyssey.
Like, I just. Well, never mind. I'll make that comment later when it
It
makes
has
sense.
to be believable enough to like be events that could have happened, but the nitty gritties do not have to be believable.
No. Yeah.
But after a few days, the first thing he writes is that Chaz has finally met his match, and it turns out it's Marco the cook. Mm-hmm. Who would have thunk?
I know.
But the reason is he went up to Marco, give him a list of foods that he wanted because he apparently was not satisfied with the food, although I feel like it takes a lot to satisfy Chaz if it didn't come up with his own idea.
Yeah.
And so he goes up to Marco. Marco's working on opening a valve for the excess water flow or something like that. I don't know exactly what's going on. But basically, it's a rusted shut valve that he's working on. Mm-hmm. He needs something to help rub the rust off. So Chaz hands him a list of food. Marco's not overly paying attention, nor does Marco really care what Chaz wants. So Marco starts using his list to rub some rust off of this valve that he's working on, which Chaz doesn't appreciate very much.
No. He's like, it's like, that's my food list. Or he's like, you want some sort of feed or something?
Yeah. Oh, so you now gotta have this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Marco's not overly concerned about what Chaz wants, so Chaz has to resort to, do you know who I am? He says, yeah, you said your name is Charlie, right?
That's Chaz. And my
Chaz
dad is your boss.
Ooh, so that make you little boss.
Yeah.
Yes, so Chaz thinks that he's like in charge of pretty much everything. Well, Marco doesn't really care. All he tells Chaz is he probably shouldn't stand where he's standing. Well, Chaz doesn't also like to be told what to do, so Chaz stays where he's standing. Well, Marco finally got his valve to open, which sprayed Chaz with this water that was apparently blocked by this valve.
Yeah. Dirty water, it seems to. Like, it doesn't seem like it's just water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can hear, there's like a crowd of kids listening to this whole
Well, and Donnie
interaction,
even
so.
writes that Chaz had waited for a crowd to gather before he
That's true.
started talking to Marco.
Yep.
So after that, Chaz decides, or as he's walking away, says he's going to find a way to get back at Marco.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yes. Then Donnie also writes that he really likes Marco and he hopes Chaz doesn't really do anything. But he says Marco's pretty cool. He says he came to the U.S. from Italy. He's hoping to make some money so he can bring his family. But he still struggles with English some. So we hear a couple snippet of him talking to Mr. Whitaker about some things in English language that he doesn't understand. I didn't write down what they are. One of them is he saw an ad for old-fashioned or brand new old-fashioned cookies. Mm-hmm. So he's confused how they can be brand new if they're old.
Yeah, and then the other one is that
$50 was found missing or something.
yeah.
Like that. How can it be missing if it's
found?
found?
Well, you got me there, Marco. Oh, where did I
Oh, I'm
get you,
sorry.
Mr.
Where
Wit?
did I get you? Yeah,
Yeah,
which it does.
the whole scene is fun,
Uh,
but unnecessary. Like
yeah, a little bit. It doesn't
the
really fit.
development of Marco as a character, he's obviously there as this, I don't know if foil's the right word, but contrast to Chaz. So the character being there is fine, he works. But other than getting this delightful little backstory of Marco, I don't know. I feel like it's, again, not something I feel like Donnie would have been writing in his journal. But who can understand the mind of a sixth grade boy?
Honestly,
Nobody.
I don't know. I'm sure I did when I was one, but then again, I probably didn't actually, because our brains are probably so undeveloped that we don't even understand ourselves.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
I'm making
Sixth
fun of
grade boys
sixth
are
grade
always fun.
boys a lot here. Nothing against kids. I just work with kids, so I feel like I know all the stereotypes. I'm not hating on them.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So after all the Marco stuff, Donnie is talking about different things that happen. He says Gloria signed up for one of Ned's arts and crafts classes, which he doesn't understand because she's apparently not an arts and crafts kind of person. Um, he says she must have done it because Ned's such a good teacher. He says he's so good at making cool stuff out of useless junk.
And he also tells a story how Gloria doesn't like to open door handles because she might break a fingernail. And I think this would have fit well with Donna.
Yeah. Well, based on some of the other times stuff we hear about Donna through different episodes, I feel like it does fit with Donna.
Yeah.
Speaking of stuff that fits with Donna, we skipped, but in the opening scene when Donna and Gloria or not Donna, Donnie
Donnie.
and Gloria first interact, and she's talking about him being short. He says he's not short; he's just small boned. And then he said, "I'd rather be small boned than big boned, like somebody I
I
know."
know.
Which would sound like something that Jimmy and Donna would say. Although usually it's Donna insulting Jimmy first, not the other way around.
It's true. Well, she insults him first because she says something about him being
That's
short,
true.
but he
That's true.
takes
Yeah.
it farther first.
Of course,
I
if it was
feel
Donna
like
and Jimmy, someone would have been called a runt. So
that's true. I feel like this episode is fine how it is. I don't really wish it had been done any other way, but with how many episodes they have re-recorded, it would be kind of fun to have heard this one re-recorded with Jimmy and Donna later on.
that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the arts and crafts classes. We just hear Ned is going around his class checking on people. They're carving something out of one piece of wood, but it's nothing too crazy. It's just like one kid was doing a deer, but Ned thought it was a cow. And then I don't remember what one kid was doing an airplane, and then he comes up to this one kid and he's like, "What is that?" It's a 1/32nd scale model of downtown Odyssey.
Great. That's great. Boy, can that kid whittle.
Which that's one of those things like it's just thrown in there. It doesn't really impact anything, but it's just a really funny line.
It's funny, yeah.
It's kind of like I want to be a disc jockey, Brad.
Can I be a distract? Part of that's the kid's voice. The kid is not
Yeah,
quite
the
that
kid
bad, but
is
it's like
not quite that
it's a
bad, but
one.
it's close.
It's like they're trying to make it a nerdy voice. Like it's a 1/32nd scale model of Downtown Odyssey.
But also just how Ned's like, great, that's great, man. Can that kid whittle? But then he gets to Gloria, who's carving a wooden heart that she's going to put on a necklace, and she's going to put initials on it, and she's going to give it to I don't remember what she says.
True love.
Yeah, that.
And that's
Yes.
just like great. Moving on.
Yeah. But then after he moves on, we still hear Gloria talking about the initials, and the initials are hers and presumably Ned's.
Yeah. GM plus NL.
Yes. And then it goes straight to Donnie, correct?
Yeah.
Talking
Then
about
he
all the
starts
things
talking
he
about
does.
his own struggles with camp.
Yes, he has tried his hand at fishing and
Science.
softball and science. Yes, he blew up something in science, so he got kicked out of that. He got pulled by the fish into the water when he tried fishing. He played softball and he hit the ball as hard as he could, and it almost made it to the pitcher's mound.
We're just really driving home the fact that he's short.
Yeah, not only short, but also apparently no strength to go along with his size.
Well, it's because he's small boned.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, if you're short, you could still theoretically hit a
I
softball
know.
further than the pitcher's mound.
I know.
But anyway, Mr. Whitaker could apparently tell that Donnie he wasn't necessarily having a bad time, but not the greatest time because he was struggling with all these things. So he takes them on a walk. They go down into the woods. Um, they go to a place that Mr. Whitaker apparently goes fairly frequently. They see a deer there. Mr. Whitaker is apparently counting on this because he had some bread. Bread, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he gives Donnie some bread and tells him to hold it out real still, and the deer comes and eats out of his hand, it's fine. I don't think I would do that.
I don't think I would either, but this is the 80s. Maybe we weren't so into don't leave a trace. I have no idea. If you were alive at this time and that's not true, I'm sorry. I'm just making assumptions. But
I
yeah,
have
I
no
don't know
idea.
that I
Like,
would.
I was just saying more about like deer in
Being
general.
the
I don't
deer.
think I would want to be that close to a deer. I mean, they're not like scary animals, but they are.
No.
I mean,
Maybe.
not an
Yeah.
animal I would just walk up to and say, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah, I guess not. Before this too, like as they're walking to this spot, Mr. Whitaker was talking to not Danny,
Donnie.
Donnie, about his struggles with being short, I guess, and he reminds him of David in the Bible and how God looks at our heart, not at our appearance. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, they feed the deer for a little bit, then the deer runs away. But Donnie is super excited. He thought it was super cool. The deer just came and ate it out of his hand. But as he's thinking that it's cool, he realizes the deer didn't run away because either one of them moved. The deer ran away because there's a bear not terribly far away from them, but far enough that once they started running, Wit had time to fall down and get back up without getting caught by the bear.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, the bear, it's a mama bear, and she has cubs, and that's why
Yes.
she starts chasing
And
them.
that's when she starts chasing them. So they start running. Mr. Whitaker falls, and that's the end of part one.
Bum, bum.
Dun dun.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it going back a second too. I think it's when the deer runs away. Mr. Whitaker says, "Oh golly, I'm sorry."
Does he actually?
I was like,
I did
I
not
just
notice
heard him
that.
say golly.
Golly gee willikers.
It just felt I had never noticed that was the word he said.
That's funny.
Or
I wish I would
but
have noticed that.
yeah, back it says something like, "Golly, Donnie, I'm sorry," or something like that.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's funny.
that's the end of part one. And part one kind of, I don't know, it's almost so in the middle of like an event happening that I, in my notes, have part one ending in the middle of a sentence.
Oh,
Because when part two starts, after Chris and a little bit Donnie get us caught up to that point in the story, as if like if you hadn't
we're
heard
right
part
there.
one,
yeah.
you're with Mr. Whitaker getting up, and then they run and they make it to a tree. Like in my sentence, it says into a bear that chases them, part one, and then they keep running and make it to a tree.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is kind of like the Barkley family's vacation, where part two, like part one, part two pick up exactly at the right same spot.
It's like, yeah, I almost feel like it would have made more sense for part one to end after they got up the tree, but I get with the like Mr. Whitaker fell down and the bear's
Suspense.
coming. It's a
Yeah.
little bit more suspenseful. Although I feel like if you're at all into storytelling, nothing's going to happen to Mr. Whitaker because he's a little bit too integral to the story of Adventures in
He might
Odyssey.
not have been right now. We're only 36 episodes in and Mr. Whitaker dies.
Yikes! Okay. It's not quite how far I meant to go with that, but anyway. Okay. You said it, not me.
Yeah, but that's not what happens because that could never happen.
Yeah, so anyway, they make it to the tree, fully safe. They make it up the tree. Mr. Whitaker exhibits his very good athletic skills for however old he happens to be.
Also, the adrenaline is kicking in.
Well, there's that, but also Mr. Whitaker's just a very athletic, mature man.
It's true.
He's not old. No, we don't call him old.
He's mature. He
Yes.
described himself as a grandfatherly person, though, and he is a grandfather, so, you know.
That's true. It's true. But so after they make it up the tree, then we get a lot of stuff that happens back at camp before we go back to Donnie. So this is stuff that Donnie apparently found out after they ended up back at camp. But back at camp, Ned is in the cabin enjoying some time away from the campers while they're all at activity time, which is spot on. I mean, that's what I mean. I was very briefly, I guess, one, but I know you were on for a full summer. I feel like this is what cabin leaders do.
That is what they do. And I am like Ned. Like, there's some cabin leaders who, when they're on breaks together, they hang out together. When I'm on break, 90% of the time, I'm like, I do not want to see anybody. Leave me alone.
But yeah, so Ned's back in his cabin, and he's using some binoculars. We find out they're Chaz's binoculars to watch a skunk. You know, I guess if you're into nature, watching a skunk could be interesting. I don't know. That would not be on the top of my animals. It'd be like, oh, look, a skunk. I want to watch it.
I think he's just looking for anything that's not sixth graders.
Probably. But then Chaz comes in. He's got popcorn, which you don't bring food into cabins. That's a no-no.
That is a big no-no, because then you get critters in the cabins.
That's true. You don't want critters.
Nope.
But he says it's fine because he hasn't opened it yet, and he won't eat it till he goes back up. That's what they all say. And then he realizes Ned's using his binoculars, and he's like, why are you using my binoculars?
Yeah.
And Ned's like, I'm just borrowing them for a minute. I was watching, I don't think he even says what, a skunk, yeah. And Chaz is like, cool, I want to go get a closer look, which, again, unless Chaz had already formulated his plan here, is not something that I would react to. It's like, oh, a skunk? Cool, I want to get closer to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But regardless, after Ned leaves, which we'll get to why he leaves, Chaz is forming a plan of getting the skunk to go to Marco's cabin. But he gets Ned to leave by giving him, I think they say a package. I don't know if it's in a box or something, but it's the wooden heart that Gloria had carved, and it's got Ned's initials on it, theoretically.
Yeah. And I don't really know why Chaz has this, because he said he was told to give it to the arts and crafts director, but it couldn't have been by Gloria, because Gloria didn't know how Ned got it.
Yeah, and say Gloria wasn't going to give it to Ned, we find out later.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You almost get the impression that, like, Chaz saw it and it's like, I can have some fun. But at the same time, it doesn't really seem like he would have been able to, like, be like, this is believable.
Yeah. What kind of makes sense to me is if someone had found the heart laying somewhere, and they're like, oh, I bet that got made in the arts and crafts class. I don't know who it belongs to, so we'll just give it to the director of the class.
That could be. But why would they give it to Chaz? Why wouldn't they just give it to an adult or, like... I mean, I get Chaz thinks he knows everything, but if someone else found it, I don't think they would have been like, Chaz, you know everything. Go give this to the arts and crafts director.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It is a little odd. But regardless, Ned freaks out because the heart was supposed to be for Gloria's true love, and Ned is not a fan of the idea that was supposed to be him.
Yeah. So he's like, do you know where Mr. Whittaker is? And I was like, no, don't. And he's like, I gotta find him.
Yeah, so Ned leaves, and then Chaz decides to open his popcorn while going to get closer to the skunk, because what he's going to do is he's going to lead the skunk to Marco's cabin using popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say, the skunk would have sprayed.
Oh, for sure. I mean, unless because it was close to camp, it was used to people, but still, I don't know.
I mean, if skunks are that obsessed with popcorn, then I think we need to know this. Like,
yeah.
You see a skunk, you don't want to spray you, give it popcorn.
Yeah, give it popcorn, but make sure you have an escape plan
popcorn
that the skunk can't keep following once you're out of popcorn.
Yeah.
Because, it follows Chaz to Marco's cabin, and while that's happening, Ned goes to talk to Whit. Well, Whit is still in the forest in a tree somewhere, so Ned finds Marco. Marco is surprisingly very helpful in this second half of the episode for his limited understanding of a lot of things that go on.
Yeah, his English is rusty, but his
life skills are not.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And he helps Ned figure it out. He's like, it's the kind of thing that happens, you know?
Yeah, well, leading up to this, because, Ned shows it to him, like, oh, those are nice niche. Those are my niche.
Like, oh, congratulations. Like,
that's a wonderful.
It's not a wonderful.
Not a wonderful.
Because she's 12 and I'm 16. Oh yeah.
which is really not. I mean, it is a problem, but
In this
that
particular context, yes, it's a problem.
in this context, yes, it's a big problem. But
10
I don't
years
know.
down the road, not so much of a problem.
No, but I guess I never really paid attention to the ages before. I was like, 4 years, which I get at that age is a problem. But
Yes, yes, it is.
yeah, I just think it's also funny that because Ned is so worked up, he's quoting Marco's Italian accent without
Yeah.
even consciously doing it.
It's like he says "anish" and "wonderful,"
Yeah.
but yeah. So Marco's basically like, it's what happens with middle schoolers, particularly girls. I don't know. I feel like it's particularly girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, you gotta have to tell her.
Yeah. Ned's like, thanks, Marco. Will
Yeah,
do.
pretty much.
I don't actually remember what he says, but
No, but yeah. Like, it's basically just like, you're just gonna have to let her down easy.
yep. So then do we get back? Oh wait, no. First we get Chaz. Oh,
Well,
no, we still have a lot left because we have
yeah, well,
Chaz
at that
getting the
point,
skunk.
I think the perspective transitions back to Chaz, but it's the same point in time because it's as
Yeah, as that conversation was happening, Chaz got the skunk to Marco's cabin. And must I say, he did have a fairly decent plan on how to get it to stay in there. He just didn't completely execute it
didn't
well.
account
He
for
got
the
it in
window
the front door,
and
and then
left the path
he
back.
went out the back door, shut the back door, ran around, and shut the front door, so that the skunk was theoretically trapped in there. And seeing as how it's probably not all that big of a building, he could probably get around to shut the doors fairly quickly.
But
And
he didn't
since
know there was an open window.
yeah, he didn't know there's open a window. Skunk wants more popcorn, so Skunk climbs out window and follows Chaz. And apparently, Chaz does not run into a single person between that cabin and was it the recreation cabin or
It's a
sports?
dining hall.
No, it was
I
like
thought
I thought they were playing games or something.
maybe
No,
this is a rec hall. Is that what
Marco,
they
yeah, it's
say?
like a rec hall because Ned and Marco were coming out of the dining hall as Chaz was going into the other building or getting to the other building.
That's true. I always imagined this happened in a building.
I
Does
think
it not?
I don't know.
Because in my head, it's in the dining hall, and so Ned and Marco were having their conversation in the kitchen. So they come out of the kitchen into the dining hall at the same time Chaz comes into the dining hall, and the skunk follows him in.
Yeah,
But that's just how my
regardless-
head has created it.
Regardless, Marco realizes there's a skunk behind Chaz, and loudly announces there's a skunk behind Chaz, which, while a fairly justified reaction, if you're going to have any hope of not having a major incident with a skunk, you can't just freak out.
No, but they had to get all these kids' attention.
It's true. But yeah, so all the kids freak out, and apparently Chaz does not think that moving would be a good idea, so he just stands there and the skunk sprays him.
I just don't think he has time to get away, but yeah.
Probably, but...
It's like,
yeah,
after
so
all
Chaz
I
is-
did for you,
Yeah, it's like, after all the popcorn I've given you, this is how you repay me.
we ate popcorn together. We had a relationship.
What episode is it? Oh, that's the...
We
Yeah.
sang songs together.
Yeah.
We had a relationship.
It's the Bonanza parody episode. The
Oh, yeah, that's what
silver
it is.
Spoon, fork,
Yeah.
ranch, utensils,
The South Spoon of the
North Fork,
North
something.
Fork. The South
know what
Spoon
we
Ranch.
mean.
The North Fork of the South Spoon Ranch.
Yes, it's that episode.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's the one where like Connie and Lucy are listening to a radio production because Wit couldn't make it for Bible study or something like that.
Yeah. I think everyone probably already knew which one we were referencing.
Yeah, probably. They probably knew like the minute
We
we
sang
even...
songs together. We had a relationship.
Anyway, yeah.
So yeah, Chaz gets sprayed by the skunk, and then that's when we finally get back to
Yeah,
the tree.
we finally get back to Donnie and Wit stuck in a tree. They've been there for a long time. Theoretically, this was all happening in the same time that they had been walking and doing all their stuff. But anyway, the bear finally got tired of shaking them in the tree and walks away. And apparently Mr. Whitaker is very certain that the bear is not going to come back because he's like, "No, we don't need to wait. Let's go."
Yeah, that's true.
I just think it's a little funny, like, because Donnie's like, "Should we wait a little bit and make sure the bear's not coming back?" And Wit's like, "No, it's fine.
Yeah, well,
down.
and honestly,
Back
Wit's
to
the
the
one like,
camp."
Yeah, well, earlier was like, no, she won't chase us. We're fine.
Yeah.
And now he's like, no, she won't come back. We're fine.
Yeah. So they come down, and they realize they don't remember which direction they came from.
Because of all the running and stuff.
But because Wit knows which direction they went out of camp, and they could remember which direction they turned. While they don't remember exactly which direction from the tree they came, they remember the general direction, like north, south, east, west they came from.
Yeah.
So they figure out, based on that and the fact of which direction the moth is on the tree, they figure out how they're going to get back to camp.
Because I think they figured out.
But they get a little lost. But while they're a little lost, we're back to camp. We weren't with Donnie and Wit for very long.
We just gotta let them out of the tree.
Yeah, they basically got out of the tree and then they're like back to camp.
Yes.
So while they're back at camp, Ned goes to talk to Gloria. He's not looking forward to it. He says he knows it's going to break her heart.
He sounds like he's done this before.
Yeah.
Like, constantly breaking the heart of 12-year-old girls every time. Meanwhile, the 16-year-old girls
Ned just must be a
won't give me the time
good-looking
of
guy,
day.
you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. He goes to talk to Gloria. Says he needs to talk to her about the wooden heart. And she's like, oh, you found it.
Like,
Or got it, or something like that. He's like, yeah, well, that's what I needed to talk to you about. And she's like, I'm glad you found it. I was afraid I was going to have to make Nathaniel another one.
yeah.
Nathaniel?
Nathaniel! Nathaniel Livingston. He's in her class at church.
He's so cute.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Ned's like, well, here you go.
Yeah.
Get you later.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, and she even
that's
says,
happening. Oh.
she's like, oh, I just realized you and Nathaniel have the same initials. Imagine if somebody had thought this was for you. And he's like, yeah, imagine.
Yeah.
Phew. Yeah.
But while that's happening, Chaz is with Marco near the kitchen as he's getting ready to take a tomato bath. Because that's what gets rid of skunk smell. Mm-hmm. Which is common knowledge, I guess. Which, obviously, this isn't really time to get into it, but how did that get discovered?
I don't know.
Like, who was like, you know what I bet would get this spray smell off of us? Tomato juice.
It was either trial and error or some scientist comparing the chemical makeup of
Probably.
skunk smell
I
and
don't know.
tomato juice.
I've
but
never been
yeah.
sprayed by a skunk, never planned to, but that's how it happens. That's how they get the smell off, apparently.
Yep, apparently.
So yeah, that's about. Oh no, Marco and Chaz have a really good conversation. Actually, I just about skipped that in my notes. So yeah, Chaz is talking to Marco, and Marco's asking him why he wanted the skunk to be in his cabin, and Chaz at first doesn't realize that anybody would have been able to trace that back to him. Well, Marco said he found some popcorn, and it wasn't too hard to put together. But he wants to know why Chaz gives everybody a hard time, and Chaz says it's because everyone gives him a hard time because they don't respect him because of his money, basically.
Marco's like, well, how do they know you're rich?
He's like, because I tell them.
Marco's like, therein lies the problem.
Yeah. And Marco's like, people don't respect you because of what you have. They respect you because of who you are. Who you
I
are.
think so.
Yeah.
Well, because before that, Chad's like, because in this country, people respect you for having money. And Marco was like, no.
No. Wrong.
Yeah. And he also, Marco tells Chaz this thing that his father has told him growing up, and says, Marco, if you're going out for revenge, you gotta dig 2 graves. Which, I assume this is a saying in real life, but I've only ever heard it in Odyssey, and you hear it later in Odyssey, because Mr. Whitaker says it in the Cross of Cortez.
Yeah, you're right. He does. Yeah. Does he say it to the?
I think does he say it to
Mendoza or
Mendoza?
the other dude?
I think she would be the one who's out for revenge.
Yeah, I think it's to Mendoza.
Yes. Maria Mendoza.
But yeah, so Marco and Chaz have this very, very nice conversation, and apparently Chaz actually takes it to heart because we find out later after Donnie and Wade get back that Chaz is a changed kid.
It's a changed man.
He's a changed man.
And that's why this kid isn't the bad kid ever again.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Probably not. But yeah, so after all that, we're back to the woods with Whit and Donnie, who have apparently been going in circles. And while I understand it might be hard for them to find their way back, I feel like Whit would be smart enough to notice. I mean, obviously he is the one who figures out they'd been going in circles, but it seems like it's at least the third time they've hit that spot, not the second.
Yeah. Well, probably because the second time you're not positive. Like, this seems familiar. Have I been here before? And by the third time, you're like, okay, I've definitely been here before.
But regardless, Whit realizes they've been going in circles. And so Donnie's like, I know what, I'll climb a tree all the way to the top and I'll be able to see. And at first Whit's like, no, bad idea. I'm too old to climb trees. And Donnie's like, I don't mean climbing a tree to get away from a bear. I mean climbing a tree so I can see over everything else. And Whit still doesn't think it's a bad idea. And Donnie's like, you told me to do it before. And he's like, well, that was an emergency. And Donnie's like, and what is this?
Yeah. And I feel like at first Whit thinks Donnie is telling him to climb the tree. Like, it doesn't even cross Whit's mind at first that Donnie could climb the tree.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Donnie is apparently, he doesn't show a whole lot of, like, initiative to do things. Like, everything he does, he thinks he fails at. So
yeah,
it's somewhat conceivable that he would think he was talking to him.
Yeah, I suppose.
But no,
anyway,
Donnie convinces Whit to let him do it. So Donnie climbs up the tree, makes it all the way to the top, finds the camp. They're apparently not very far from the trail.
No. Do you find it at all funny that Donnie climbs up, he's like, oh, I don't see anything, and Whit has to tell him, turn around and look the other way. Like, it doesn't cross Donnie's mind.
Like, maybe the camp's in the other direction. Nah, couldn't be.
No.
There's only one direction you can look from the top of a tree.
It looks like, I can't see a thing. Turn around. Oh, it's right there.
Yeah. But so yeah, they find their way back. Donnie and Whit make it.
Tell their tales.
Yeah. Chaz apologizes to Donnie. And yeah.
Donnie's even excited to see Gloria.
Yeah. And that about does it. The outro is just Chris talking again about how the way people see you is not how you are on the outside, but it should. While people might look at the outward appearance, you should be more concerned about the heart because that's what God sees.
Yeah, and Donnie does say at the end that no one ever called him Shorty again because his smallness saved the day.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the same situation with Jimmy, where he's like, maybe someday I'll write about everything else that happened. Because, I don't know if he says that, but it's kind of implied that, like, this wasn't the whole week of camp. But
Yep. But yeah, that about does it. Any final thoughts on Camp What a Nut?
I don't think so. It's another fun episode, very, very summery.
Yeah.
Again, I'd be interested to, I mean, even line for line, just to know what it would have felt like with Jimmy and Donna, because I feel like it would feel different. But Donnie and Gloria do a great job. So
Yeah. So yeah, what do we got next week?
Next week we have another two-parter. It is time for the case of the secret room.
And that, folks, will be the first sibling group chat episode, as I won't be there.
No,
Just kidding. I will listen to the episode for what I believe will be the first time. I don't think I've ever listened to the entire episode.
Do we need to listen to it together?
Well, considering that I'm in Kansas and you're in South Dakota, I don't think that's going to work out too
well. We could just we could do it on a phone call or something.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not too bad. It's a great episode once you're older and you get through it. But if we have young children, maybe we need to give our hello. This is Cassie Watson.
Hello, this is Owen Watson, co-host of the sibling group chat.
We suggest that young children listen to next week's episode with their parents. Kids, if your parents aren't in the room right now, please go and get them. And as always, enjoy the sibling group chat.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we look forward to that. And we'll see you next week. As always, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe wherever you get our podcast. And we thank you for watching. See you next time.
Bye.